A lot of people like to take their Jeep or their 4x4 out and do some little off-roading, having some fun in the mud. Unfortunately, the places that a lot of people pick to do these kinds of activities end up disturbing the natural habitat. But there are places set up strictly for off-roading. I had a chance to get out to Genesee County to the mounds. Today I was at the mounds in Genesee County to do a little off-roading. The mounds is set up strictly for having fun in the mud. John Witt is a member of the Dirty Minds Jeep Club who put on Mud Mania here at the mounds each year. I would be riding with him throughout the park today in this, John's Jeep.
Well, as the license plate says, my nickname is Insane, so it's too insane. It says, get in, sit down, shut up, and hang on. We're going to have a little fun.
Let's go. And we were off. I had a chance to ask Amy McMillan with the Genesee County Parks and Rec just what was going on here today.
Today is the annual Mud Mania event, and there are folks from all over southeastern Michigan here to enjoy the mounds, out with their ATVs and their ORVs, using our trails. We have about 240 acres of trails here, and they include all kinds of challenges. We have sand, we have mud, we have some wooded areas.
Well, we were going to check out a little of all of that. As we headed out, John told me that when you're operating a vehicle on a course like this, safety is first. You need to be aware of what's going on around you at all times. Always watch out for four-wheelers and dirt bikes who might be coming around the next corner. And always give them the right-of-way if you're in a larger vehicle. We stopped and waited for these folks to pass, and just ahead, a water hole. This hole was not one of the main events set up here today, and we rolled right through it. But I had a feeling we were just getting our tires wet. I told John I wanted to see some big mud, and next thing I knew, there it was.
Well, that's just the beginning. We're going to have some more fun.
Well, I couldn't wait to see what we'd come up to next. But first, I asked Amy to tell me more about the mounds and what else the Genesee County Parks have to offer.
The Genesee County Parks and Recreation Commission is the largest county park system in the entire state of Michigan. We have 11,000 acres. They stretch 40 miles east and west and 40 miles north and south. We have amazing natural properties. The mounds is a great example. We have fabulous riding trails right across the street at the Cumming Center, for example, wonderful equestrian programs. We have fabulous county parks that were built during the Depression era and have wonderful architecture in them. We have beaches, we have a campground. Really, if there's any outdoor activity that you want to do, you can do it here in Genesee County's parks.
Well, today was all about mud. I stepped out of the Jeep to avoid getting the camera wet because John was about to attempt some pretty big mud. He was the first one of the day to try and make it through this soupy pit, and he was giving it all he had to try to get through. The mud was just a little too deep here, but the nice thing about wheeling at the mountains is there's always someone nearby who's willing to pull you out.
Hey, the motor died. I lost my motor.
Well, after all that fun and sloppy mud, the tailpipe was actually packed with mud, so we had to get a tow strap hooked up.
You know what the sad part is? She hasn't seen her seat yet.
I was going to say, I hope you didn't want to sit right now. I bet she's not going to care. Oh, is it really?
Oh, it's packed.
Big Daddy's not supposed to get stuck.
Jerome Plower, who is manning this checkpoint, teased John a bit when I asked him how many people got stuck in this hole so far.
He's the first. Everybody else made it through.
Jerome's job was to ensure safety at this pit and to stamp each participant's card if they attempted his checkpoint. John and I decided to go see what else was happening, and I had him explain how the checkpoint system worked.
You have 8 of those set up through the course. As the person passes through each one, they will get a punch on a card that they were given. And at the end of the day, they actually qualified to win some raffle prizes. They have some very lovely prizes that were donated, and that's what these people are qualifying to win.
Well, what we were about to see was a vehicle whose appetite for fun appeared to be bigger than its tires. This one, like many others, was definitely going to need some help getting out. President of the Jeep Club, Chris Dickinson, explains one of the ways they address safety at this event.
The checkpoints out here, we've tried to basically integrate different types of situations that people might encounter. They're just trying to learn the vehicles and try to learn to do it safely. Last year we actually had a checkpoint that was a recovery checkpoint, how to safely hook up a vehicle to a tow strap or a winch and pull somebody out without causing any harm to any vehicles or any people.
Well, some of the guys got this vehicle safely hooked up to the winches, and believe it or not, it didn't take long to pull him right out. I just hope his wife doesn't think he's at the office. Amy McMillan pointed out how important it is to use designated areas for these kinds of activities.
Well, I think, one of the things that's most important about preserving the whole sport of off-road use is to use designated areas only. As long as ORV users are respectful of the environment, are in the trail areas where they're permitted, that's the greatest use of those areas. And then it doesn't generate conflict. The folks who use our parks are very respectful of our off-road rules. People who come here to the mounds follow the trails and stay where they're supposed to stay. They do a good job of picking up after themselves. I think they're really very appreciative of having this environment because really we are one of only a very few public ORV areas in Lower Michigan.
The park is open to motorcycles, ATVs, full-size trucks, Jeeps. It's open to anybody. So motorcycles can participate as well as the four-wheelers, and they have dune buggies out here and sand rails, and full-size trucks, stock trucks. We've had people out here in minivans.
It was a fun day for everyone, no matter what type of vehicle they had here today. Mud Mania was started by the Jeep Club just 3 years ago. It's a great family event for people of all ages. Kids under 16 must present their Michigan ORV safety certificate. For info on obtaining one, check the DNR website at michigan.gov/DNR. Chris explained how the Jeep Club itself came to be.
It started, I first moved down to this county from St. Clair County, and I was looking for a club to join. I couldn't find anything in the area, so I sent out a couple emails. Actually, I did a search for Jeep online, and I decided to see how many people were actually interested in maybe starting up a club. There was 5 of us initially. Right now, we have about 55 members. First year was not real organized. We just got together and enjoyed the summer and had some fun out here, and it's grown from there.
And I can see why. I was definitely impressed not only with the awesome Jeeps and 4x4s here today, but with the great group of people as well. Remember, if you're interested in off-roading, it's important to do it in designated areas. If we as sportsmen keep it safe and help protect our land, wheeling can remain one of the most exciting sports we have here in the state. Every once in a while, we all like to get a little Michigan mud on the tires.